it's love again. And I pulled up in the color bins, choking, staying hard through my Prada lens. You standing there looking fine as a Kardashian. I hopped out, grabbed her hand and asked her, Ken, not marriage, no not yet, but what's the chances of dinner time? 6 plus sex, she said it equals us, pass the Dutch, and you could keep the clutch. Cause my love for you was automatic, had to have it. Now I'm living lavish, so many different whips, and every day new Gucci, Prada, and Louis baggage.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Married with Knowledge. I am your host, Terry, here with my good aunt, Mr. Clemont Brown. What's going on, aunt?
What's up, everybody? What's up? I'm looking rough, but we good.
Hey, man, we here, man. It's been a while, man. We do want to apologize for, we had to take some time off. Me personally, I had a few things going on, nothing crazy. But while we talking about that, we like to be transparent. So I'll basically jump right into it. Again, is Men's Mental Awareness Month, in which me and Unc, we encourage, all men to get checked out. You know what I mean? Even if you feel like nothing is wrong with you, you're the most healthiest person in the world. It is okay to talk to somebody, because you never know what you might have going on. As for myself, I was one day playing basketball with the boys, having a good time, man. Feeling like I was 25 again on that basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was all good. And the very next day, I woke up, I felt fine. But we went to church. It was like in the middle of church, and I started feeling like nothing crazy. I just didn't feel like myself. So I told my wife, I'm like, something ain't right. I just feel a little off. But we continued our day. After church, we went to her favorite store, Ross. And while we were in Ross, my heart started racing. My mind is thinking about a million things at once. And I'm like, man, what is wrong with me? Coming to find out, I was actually having an anxiety attack. And that's fairly new to me. I didn't know what was going on. I honestly thought I was having a heart attack or something because my heart was just racing. I'm telling my wife, you go shop. I'm going to go walk this off and do what I got to do to, try to get back right. And it was just a little scary for me, man, because I've been through that before, but it was reasons I when KJ passed, that was my very first anxiety attack. You know what I mean? That kind of hit me hard, but that was almost 2 years ago. So here we are, and I'm having this anxiety attack in Ross, and man, I took her Stanley Cup, man. I'm drinking water. I'm getting the ice out, rubbing it on the back of my neck, just trying to, because I felt hot. You know what I mean? Like it felt like I was on fire. So again, I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was like a medical issue, honestly. And I'm like, man, I'm very healthy. I go to the doctor all the time, and they tell me how healthy I am.
Right.
So me going through that, and knowing how I live, a very healthy lifestyle. You know what I mean? I eat well, I exercise, I do all of that. And this still happened to me. You know what I mean? So I can just imagine what other men may go through, and they don't tell nobody. Because you know how it is, man. You, as a man, sometimes you feel like you got to keep everything to yourself because you got to be manly. You know what I mean? You got to be macho man.
Right.
But I realized I wasn't. In that time, I wasn't macho man. I was looking at my wife like, without saying those words, like help, help me. You know what I mean? Like help me feel better. But the crazy part is it just didn't end that day. Eventually, she battles anxiety sometimes, so she actually had anxiety pills at home. So she gave me an anxiety pill, and it worked. Obviously, it worked. So I got through the rest of that day. But for the rest of the week, I woke up every single day in the middle of an anxiety attack.
Wow.
So now I'm like, man, what is going on with me? nothing's on my mind, nothing's bothering me. You know what I'm saying? I like to say I'm very blessed. You know what I mean? Like I don't have no worries. I don't have anything going on with family members. You know what I'm saying? There was just nothing on my mind that I thought would have caused this. Um, so it kind of threw me off guard, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to come on here and share that because again, I know there's people in this world that deal with anxiety, depression, and they keep it to themselves, man. And I just want to say that it's not healthy. Just talk to somebody. I'm lucky enough to have my best friend, my wife, that I can talk to. You know, she's there to comfort me. You know, she made sure I was good every single day, even though I know I worried her like crazy because she see
Yeah.
me as this healthy, strong guy that, you know, is the protector. And now I'm down and weak. And I she won't admit it, but I can tell by her eyes
Right.
that
We could
very
tell.
worried. Yeah. So, you know, I just wanted to put that out there. And, I know you probably, experienced some things in your life. You know what I mean? I don't know if anxiety or whatever the case may be, but you know,
We talked about it. We talked about it when we had Quinn on. A lot of men don't like to talk about it. They feel, weak. They feel like, they got to hold it in and keep everything on their shoulders. We got to handle everything. And I'm glad that this is a conversation that we're having that let everybody know that it goes, everyone gets these type of things.
yeah,
And men, and we can't keep quiet. One of the things that, like I was telling you, I went to the doctor the other day and I was reluctant to go. It was my wife. And one of the reasons why I don't like telling my wife to go is because as soon as I tell her, she like, yo, that ain't you. Let's get a doctor call. So I had a stomach ache and I came home. It was really bothering me. So the next day when I woke up to take her to work, my stomach was good. She said, I said, I got an Uber. I got to get this money. She said, forget that money. Call the doctor. So I called the doctor, and it's actually my acid reflux that's really bothering me. But then I also got checked by my doctor, and I was just telling you that my A1C is 10.1. And my doctor was like, yo, Clee, just 3 months ago, you was like 7.8. You was doing good. What's going on? And she says, you keep doing this, you're going to lose your eyesight. All other things can happen to you. So, she put me on some medicine and I'm going to start walking again. I used to walk all the time. And, sometimes you get lackadaisy and say, I'm not going to do it. And you can be feeling great. And what people don't realize, you can be feeling great one day and die the next.
mm-hmm.
That's why we got to stop. Us men, we got to go get checked, colonoscopies, checked out for our diabetes, stress levels. The more that we hold it in, the more stress you get, whether we want to believe it or not.
Yeah.
So as men, we have to push that narrative that it's okay to get checked out. It's okay to share with the one you love or somebody that you love. If you ain't with nobody, tell your mama, tell your dad, tell somebody so they can at least encourage you to go get looked at. Because in today's society, we're losing people at an all-time rate.
Yeah.
One day they here, next day they not. And I just told my wife, I want to be here.
Right.
I want to be here to see my grandkids, rest of my grandkids graduate and go to college. You know what I'm saying? So and I understand it's fair. It's fair. And I'm glad that you just had your wife that could help you because your number one counseling was you could talk to your wife. I could talk to my wife. Some people feel they can't do that. So,
Right.
this is a great conversation. And, mental health is real, whether it's your man, woman, child, all over. We need someone to talk to.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man, because she was a few weeks ago, about a month ago, she was going through, she was getting hot flashes and
Right.
stuff like that. She's up, she's in her 30s, so she's like, man, I know I ain't getting no menopause, whatever the case may be. But come to find out, she was also having anxiety attacks.
Wow.
So after she got done, it's like it came to me. So I had seen something on Instagram. I follow a lot of podcasts that talk about marriages and stuff.
Me too.
And they were saying, it was this one lady. She was saying how you step out of your marriage and go sleep with somebody, you don't know what type of energy you're bringing back home. You know what I mean?
I'm a firm
That
believer in
person,
that.
I am a very firm believer of energy. So she basically was saying the person you sleeping with could be having anxiety, depression, whatever the case may be, and you're bringing that back home, right? So I say that to say,
It could happen in your house.
if you think energy ain't real, my wife was just having this, and all of a sudden I've never dealt with this,
Yeah.
and I have it. You know what I mean? So we share energy. You know what I mean? And I joke with my wife. I'm like, man, you gave me anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And she just laughed and stuff. But the one thing that I love about her, man, she's like, even if I did, we're gonna get through it together.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I mean? Because when she was going through it, I was there for her, and when I was going through it, she was there for me.
Well, we won. We become one. Is that what they say when we get married? You know,
Yeah.
it's the funniest thing is that when I'm praying for my wife when she's not feeling well, and sometimes, let me say, sometimes your words are some strong thing. I ask God, whatever pain she's dealing with, I'll take it. So I can see her, not in pain. And
Right.
and a couple of times I wake up in the morning and I got that pain. But that's what I asked for. Words are powerful.
Words are very powerful, because I'm gonna tell you this.
And if you're praying like that,
I'm gonna tell you this. I said on Sunday I had got the first anxiety attack. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All those days I woke up. I'm taking anxiety pills soon on the wake up, because in my mind I'm like, I don't want to have no anxiety attack, so I'm taking it. But also I'm praying. I'm praying to God. God, I trust you. You know what I'm saying? It's your call. Whatever you're calling for, I'm with it. If it's meant for me to have anxiety and deal with this right now because you feel it's something I have to go through, then so be it.
yes.
But I also asked them, can you please remove this? Like, please. And not for nothing, I've been off of the anxiety pill for like 3 days now.
Okay.
And it might seem minor, but man, it is a blessing, because all I was asking for is saying to myself is, I just want to be normal. I just want to be back to my regular self. Because again, I don't really stress over nothing unless it's them kids. You know what I'm saying? Them kids is the only ones that stress me, because I don't like them to go through certain things, man. But for the most part, I don't stress and I don't worry about nothing. So it just kind of caught me off guard, man.
Well, let me be the bearer of bad news to you then. So you're stressing now, and they're young.
Yeah.
Me and my wife talked about this. We thought we couldn't wait till they get old, but when you got older children and they go through something, you stress even more sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, Lord, didn't I teach them anything? Or Lord, why they going through this? I tried to show them the way. Not even though we know they got to go their own path. You see what I'm saying? But when you have children, I don't care how old they get, you stress.
Yes.
Whether they pick the wrong person, whether even if they're doing good and you think they shouldn't be doing something, it's just, as a parent, that's what you always feel and always want to do. And it's just something that you always go through.
Yeah, listen, I'm a strong believer in that, man, because I'm 41 years old and my mom still sees me as her little boy.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is, and me and my mom we're connected at the heart, because I could be going through something. I don't call and talk to people about anything I'm going through. My mom will call me and she would say, son, are you okay? And I'm like, why would you think I'm not okay?
Right.
I just had a feeling like something told me to call you. You know what, Mom? You're absolutely right. There's nothing serious, but this is going on.
Right.
And she's like, I knew it. Like, I don't care what it is. That intuition, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. She knows when I'm going through something. So I totally agree when you say the older they get, you don't stop stressing, because when you got that relationship with your kids, man, you're always going to worry about them. You're always going to want the best for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's there, man. I even as a grandparent, I watch my sons raise their kids, and it's now that you're not as strict on the kids as you was on me. Well, my job is not for that now. I try to tell
Right,
them,
yeah.
because Dewan was laughing at my mom because his 2-year-old was in our living room in a blow-up water pool. And Juan said, "Mom, really? There's no way that this could have happened when we were young." She blowing bubbles in the house, Terry. Juan is like, "Dad," I'm like, "Listen, that's your mom. I ain't got nothing to do with this." But
she says good is good.
it's good. Well, I'm gonna say, but the little one is having fun, and Juan was like, Juan out there tweeting, "Oh Lord, this shit," and the Cam getting on, everybody like, "Not Regina," but it's funny, man. But for health and wellness, we as a men, we do got to do better. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, I got it. Oh no, go ahead.
Because we don't want people to see us struggling or see us going through something. And, sometimes you need, other than prayer, you need that person with you who's going to be willing to go through it. You got that person. I got that person. And it's a lot of other people who got that person, but we just got to be willing to share. I know I don't share because the first thing my wife say, go to the doctor. And it kills me because when I say go to the doctor for her, it take her a whole week to call.
Tell me about it.
And so why I got to rush when you tell me? So I like.
Listen, my wife went on and off with that anxiety for about 2 months, and finally I said, "Listen, you gonna take your ass to this damn doctor because you don't know what it is." So she finally went to the doctor, and that's how she found out that it was anxiety as opposed to what she thought it was. You know what I mean? But what I was gonna say was, man, I'm in a group chat with 3 of my good friends, 3 of my closest friends, and it's pretty cool because a couple weeks ago, everybody was sharing their blood pressure results.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Because my DB, I don't mean to share his business, but he been battling higher blood pressure, nothing alarming, but higher. So he shared his results. I said, like, man, this is the lowest my blood pressure been in years. So I'm like, yo, that's dope. So you know what I did? Man, I got in my car and I went to Walmart, stuck my hand in the blood pressure machine, only because I haven't dealt with high blood pressure. But when KJ passed, I started having the anxiety, and it caused me to have a pinched nerve in my back. Like my anxiety was so bad. I wasn't having attacks, but I guess my nerves was so bad. I got a pinched nerve in my back. It shot all the way to my arm. I had no feeling in my left arm for about 2 months.
And that's like stroke symptoms.
Yes.
In your arm.
Yeah. So obviously I ran to it. My wife didn't have to tell me nothing.
Right.
Because if I feel something, I'm running to the doctor. She actually yelled at me because I went to emergency. She's like, "Why didn't you just go to urgent care?" Right. I said, "I went to the closest thing possible because I didn't know what was going on." And that's when they was like, "You have an anxiety attack." And I'm like, and one end I'm like, phew. And on the other end, I'm like, what the hell do I have anxiety for? Right. You know what I mean? So I was dealing with, my blood pressure went up a little bit. It wasn't nothing alarming. But that's why when he showed his results, I'm like, man, let me go. I haven't checked it in a while. Let me go. And I'm talking about, it was perfect. And I'm like, man, look, y'all, mine's is back to normal. So and then our other friend shared his. He was like, this is mine. And I'm like, yo, man, that is pretty cool that we can motivate each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To actually have someone there to go through something to keep you on top of your game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we also talk about like being overweight and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And we try to hold each other accountable, man. We do 50 push-ups and we'll send the video to the group. Your turn. We'll run a mile. I ran a mile in 10 minutes. What you can do it in.
Right.
So it's like a little friendly competition, but it's for the benefit of our health.
Yep. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't ask for like a better group of friends, man, because not all people have that.
Right. You're right.
Friends want to turn up. They want to drink. They want to smoke. They want to party. The unhealthy stuff.
Right. That's
which
it.
is okay. You can do that every now and then. Who cares? No one's here to judge. Like
Right.
we all have
Well
our
done.
days. We do what we do, but we also have to take care of ourselves, man, because we are not getting any younger. We are
You're
getting older,
Older.
man.
Yeah. But speaking on that blood pressure, mine was pretty good the other day. It was 134 over 84. And she was like, "Oh, Clee, your blood pressure." But to go say that my blood pressure was good, but my sugar was up. And that goes to show you that I'm not eating right. I'm not exercising. I'm not doing the things I'm supposed to do. My wife just went to the dentist the other day, and they turned her away because her blood pressure was fluctuating. So she had to go to the doctor and have them take her blood pressure and a couple times and send a note to the dentist because they were scared to work on it because they didn't know if I could work on your blood pressure like this going up and down. Come to find out, she ended up maintaining it and getting it where she can go to the dentist and get work. So we have to take care of ourselves.
Man. It's
and
very
me
important.
being almost 60 now, I got to even do it twice as much because I'm getting up in age. It's fun that I work and make money. I do a lot of traveling, but if I don't stay healthy,
you ain't gonna be able to do none of
I'm
that.
not gonna be able to do none of that. I don't want to walk around and now they got to cut off my feet, cut off my toes, do all that. I'm not with all that. I got friends, and I'm not saying that I got friends who's going through that right now, and it's scary because we talk about it. That's a scary thing when you start getting your toes cut off, or something on your body cut off because of diabetes and all of that. We got to hold each other accountable.
Yeah,
I love the way you and your friends are holding each other accountable because that means y'all care. Y'all love one another. We can call it what we want. We that crew that holds each other accountable. And you need more of that. I got the Steve Houstons, the Quinn Smith, the Sean Grays of the world, Cornelius Harris of the world who keep me grounded. I could talk to them and they tell Clee, you're wrong, this or that, or this is what you should be doing. So it's good to have friends like that.
Yeah, you got to surround yourself with people like that, man, because my thing at my age, one thing I learned, man, is if you don't hold no value to my life, you know what I'm saying? If I see myself going in the wrong direction from being around you, if I don't see our relationship being a benefit, an asset, then I'm sorry. I have to love you from a distance. It's no love lost, but I have to think about me and my family, and my wife. You know what I mean? Like I always tell her, like, I got to be here for you. You know what I mean? Like I can't leave you here on your own. And I say that's I had the conversation with Sincere the other day. I was telling him about my anxiety because my kids ain't dumb. They'll see me. One thing that helps me with the anxiety I was going through is I would play my video game. You sit there playing a video game, you ain't think about nothing but the video game.
Right.
Well, I was doing this while I was supposed to be at work. So Sincere would come and he would look like, "Oh, what you doing home?" And I would just tell him, "Oh, I'll give an excuse because I don't want him to worry." But when we talked, he's like, "Man, I knew something wasn't right. Like, you 1 o'clock in the morning, you coming downstairs to play the game. That's not you. When you go to bed, you go to bed. Like, when you come back downstairs to play the game, I know something wasn't right." So I opened up to him. I'm like, "Yeah, I was battling anxiety. I don't want to pass that anxiety to y'all."
Right.
So I try not to worry y'all. If it's something very serious, then I will tell y'all. But I'm not gonna worry you over. And I don't like to call it minor, man, because it wasn't minor when I was going through it. You know what I mean? Like
you feeling some type of way.
Yeah, it was, again, it was very scary. So, that's another thing, keeping your family involved. You know what I mean? And not keeping them in the dark. That's why no matter what, listen, I don't care what I go through, I gotta tell my wife because she's always gonna have my best interests.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So we got to do.
We got to do. You're right. Yeah, we got to keep it on the up and up with each other. Like we said, we don't do this for clout. We don't do this for
Right.
money. We do this to touch someone. And if this
Mm-hmm.
conversation is touching somebody who watched this, then we're doing our job as a
listen,
whole, as a podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like you, I watch different podcasts and I talk to different passengers now that when I'm driving them at Ubering and stuff to get different aspects. I don't know how many people have signed up, but I'm gonna have people look up our podcast because I tell them what we talk about, and they be getting ready to get on the plane. They say, I'm gonna look it up, I'm gonna subscribe, I want to hear the stuff that you talk about. Because I told them we talk about red flags, we talk about, men not wanting to share, always have to hold it in. We talk about anything. So, it's a beautiful thing and that's what we'll talk offline, but I got to get me a hoodie because I like wearing hoodies in my car because the air conditioning with Married with Knowledge, because I need to promote that some more.
Now, we need the hats, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We need to get it out there, man. And again, we built this from the ground up, like you said, we don't do this for clout or for money or anything like that. It's something that we do without pressing record anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a podcast world where people feel that they got a microphone that they can just talk about whatever they want. You know what I mean? I don't mean to go off subject, but this whole Kobe Bryant comparing him to Tracy McGrady conversation, like, why y'all wait till that man pass away to want to discredit the things that he did? Like, all his peers and the people that grew up under him don't look up to him like we look at Michael Jordan.
Right.
Kobe Bryant is the Michael Jordan of his era. You know what I mean? And you got the nerve to bring in Tracy McGrady, who was a hell of a player.
Yes.
But he didn't win nothing. You want to talk hypothetical stuff. If I played with Shaq.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, just...
But
I don't mean to go off subject. I just meant to say, my point of that was just, we don't turn this microphone just to talk a bunch of gibberish. You know what I mean? This is stuff that
try to down
heart.
anybody. We're trying to help people.
Yeah.
You see, that's what this world is about. Too many bickering and arguing and talking about one another, and we're better than that. We don't had our ups and downs. We feel we're not better than nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Our path was just different from somebody else's path. It's just our path led us to success. There's some people who didn't become successful as early as we did, but we're praying that whatever path they got, that God got them going on, because we don't know the path that God has for them, that they become successful and do what they're supposed to do. But we're too busy judging. That's why I love the fact that me and my wife always talk about, and even the people I Uber, they actually, I said, this is a no judgment zone with me. I agree to disagree without a lot of disagreement. We could talk about it, have dialogue, but your thoughts and opinions are valid to you. So who am I to tell them that I don't, even if I don't like them or think they're right, I respect them. Those are your thoughts and opinions. So, that way when they get in, they feel comfortable. They don't have to worry about talking about whatever they want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, we live in a world where everybody wants to have something to say or start negative narratives, and like you said, we're not meant to go off, but you have young college students right now who say LeBron is their GOAT. They don't know the Michael Jordans.
And I'm okay with that.
Right. And that's what we're saying. There's GOATs in each era. Because if we talk about rings, you got Kareem, you got
Bill Russell, Robert Horry.
Don't start.
I'm just saying, they want to talk about rings, like,
right.
He
has some of them things, but that's what it is, But I'm just glad that we choose to talk about making things better and helping people. That's a plus for us. And that's why I think our podcast will go long. When people start subscribing, we're going to be all right. And they're already subscribing. But it's just the people we have on here, we talk about positive, about marriage, about ups and downs. Everybody go through. So
I like how you spoke about we're here to talk positivity, man, because again, we're not here to judge. Like you said, we just happen to take a different path. And you said, you know, everybody don't see success at a certain age.
Right.
There's people that's way younger than me that is more successful than me, but I don't look at that as, oh my, I should be there, or I wish I had that, or listen, there's always going to be someone above you.
Right.
Unless you are God, which you would never be.
Right.
You're never going to be number one. You know what I mean? So,
and I was looking at a podcast say, if you're the smartest person in your crew or in your circle,
you're in the wrong circle.
You're in the wrong circle.
Oh, I know that saying.
You're in the wrong circle. I need somebody to give me some knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, me and my wife talked about it. We used to always run our own business. We got down here, and I think we done got stagnant. But like we've been talking about the last couple months, we got to get back on track, Terry. I know my woman is the best teacher in the world to me. Mm-hmm. I've seen what she can do for children. Mm-hmm. And I want her to start that back again, because when she was doing that, she was more happier. So my job is to encourage her.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You done did it before. Don't get to Atlanta and think we can't do it again.
Right. Right.
So
I mean, just to give you some motivation, I mean, you see my wife, she brought the notary business from New York to Florida. Was it easy? Hell no. It was hard getting out here from ground zero and building things where we're at now.
Right.
And like I said, we're very blessed that we're able to run a notary field inspection business in a whole nother state and honestly have more success than we had in New York.
See?
You know what I mean? Because she brought me along, taught me the game. It was like, listen, man, you better go get this easy money. So she just added an extra income to me. And half the time, I'm her sidekick, just helping her. You know what I'm saying? and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, listen,
because
I was her side chick for years in the school business. I was cooking and doing what I was doing. But guess what? Yeah. I was happy because she was making money and I'm helping her. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we got that a lot of people don't got. We got wives that we help each other. We're not gatekeeping with each other. We're not in competition. We are completing each other. I'll tell everybody that if you're in a relationship that y'all have competition in, it's not gonna last.
No. Yeah, it ain't no competition, man. My wife don't even use the word I or mine. I haven't heard her use that phrase our whole relationship. Okay. Everything is ours. Like she says something, I don't know exactly what we were talking about, but I forgot what I said. I said, you got something. And she was like, no, we have.
Okay.
Whatever I have, you have. Whatever you have, I have. We're one. And I'm just like, man, I tell her that's why the hell I married you.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, man, we had to come on here, man, before this month ended to support and raise some type of awareness for Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. This was literally a freestyle episode, but it was a great episode.
Yes, it was.
I mean, I think we got some stuff out in the air, and we just hope someone can see this and it can help someone.
Definitely.
Because as young Black men, and it's not easy for us to turn to people. It's just not. Everyone is judging nowadays. I seen this joke on Facebook today. It said, man, Black people can't take nothing serious. They tease you for anything. This man talking about, so look at this dude over here washing clothes.
Yeah, I think James Brown did the same thing. He was drinking water. They like, that dude drinking water. He broke. He can't. Just because I'm drinking water, you want to judge me?
Listen, I know we like to have fun because that's just what we do. We the jokesters, we the entertainment, like all of that. But man, we got to take things serious sometimes, man.
Yes.
And mental health is definitely one of those serious things that we have to take serious.
Well, before we close out, I just want to say one thing though. Seriously, even though we're talking about men, I need the women to go get checked out. Breast cancer, is high. Go get your mammograms. Go get checked out. Make sure that you're good. Because us men, whether some of them want to say it or not, we need y'all. We need you women to be healthy and here for us. I tell my wife all the time, I can't lose you. You know what I'm saying? And we do have some good episodes coming up. We're going to talk about some weddings. We're going to talk about me talking to some of my passengers, arranged marriages, people who've been married, dating somebody in the same building, but they live in separate apartments. I've been talking about it all. I've just been waiting for you to call back from your vacation.
Yeah.
I got some conversations for us, boy.
In other words, we are back.
Yes.
And you may get another episode midweek because we got a lot of catching up to do. Because like Unc said, we got some things to talk about. But we do want to thank y'all, man, for tuning in. We are always, always, always grateful and appreciative of the support that we get. When I go to Rochester, I just went there last month, man, and people are asking. And it was a great feeling, man. What's up with the podcast? I ain't see you lately. Shout out to my family, Quan McCullough, man, out here flipping them houses, doing his content, man. Listen, he gave me some words of encouragement, man, gave me some advice that he didn't necessarily have to do.
Right.
But I definitely appreciate that, family. But with that being said, man, we're going to close this one out. Thank y'all for watching. We will be back. And Unc, you got anything to say?
Married with Knowledge. We're back, y'all.
See y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
That was a cute short one.
Yeah.
I do.